Let's get on to the WrestleMania 38 card. This is taking place from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The two-night event here, as they're billing it as the most stupendous WrestleMania of all time, which it is not, by the way. So let's get on to night one first here. Musical performance will be from DJ Valentino Khan here, and then America the Beautiful will be performed by Brantley Gilbert. So let's go over the card as we have it as of the time I'm recording this. We have a tag team match here with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods from the New Day. They're teaming up to take on Sheamus and Ridge Holland here in a match. It's really not a whole lot of juice or excitement to the match here. Obviously, Big E was supposed to be in the match, but because of him having a broken neck, he's out of the way here for a while here. Kofi and Xavier Woods against Sheamus, Ridge Holland. Kofi and Xavier are going to be winning this one. There's no way they should be losing here. So I'll take Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods get a win over Sheamus and Ridge Holland. No rhyme or reason here. It's just a new day. You give them a win here. Drew McIntyre. He's taking on Baron Corbin in a one-on-one match. Of course, what we talked about on Monday Night Raw earlier in the podcast, with Baron Corbin stealing the sword from Drew McIntyre once again to set up what's going to happen here. Drew McIntyre is clearly beating Baron Corbin. There is nothing gained from Baron Corbin winning here. Drew McIntyre, just 2 years ago, I've mentioned this already before, but 2 years ago, Drew McIntyre was winning the WWE title at WrestleMania. And granted, it was in front of no fans at the Performance Center, but last year at WrestleMania, he was wrestling for the title against Bobby Lashley, and here he's relegated to a match with Baron Corbin. My, how he has fallen so quick. So Drew McIntyre is going to get a win over Baron Corbin here. We have Logan Paul and The Miz teaming up to take on Rey Mysterio Jr. and Dominic Mysterio. Again, this will be interesting to see. It's a shame as of the time I'm recording this that the Intercontinental title and the United States title will not be defended at WrestleMania, but yet you have a spot for Logan Paul to be in a tag match here. Clearly, Logan Paul is going to be protected from the three other guys in the match here. I don't think Logan Paul does a whole lot. I think Miz is carrying the load for his team here. I think Rey Mysterio Jr. and Dominic wind up winning the match here. And I think ultimately Logan Paul turns on The Miz. I think something like that's going to happen here. Because if Monday Night Raw this week was any indication, Logan Paul didn't help The Miz, which was kind of a seed planted there. I think ultimately Logan Paul turns on The Miz and aligns with Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio as it's all said and done. Smackdown Tag Team title match here. We have the Usos defending the Tag Team titles against Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. This one's a coin flip. This one could go either way here. We had Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs get singles wins over the Usos here recently. That pretty much tells me that the Usos are going to win and retain here. I don't see them taking the titles off the Usos, though. I think they should drop the titles, but I have my own reasons for that. But ultimately, because Nakamura and Boogs have been beating them in singles matches, ultimately the Usos are going to win and retain the SmackDown Tag Team titles when it's all said and done. Raw Women's title match is up next here. We have Bianca Belair challenging Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's title here. Of course, what happened on Monday Night Raw this week, we had Bianca Belair cutting Becky Lynch's hair during a segment on the show here. Becky not looking happy at all. She was basically made to look like a fool here, got humiliated here. A lot of people seem to think that Bianca's winning the title here. I'm here to tell you, folks, it just seems too obvious that Bianca's going to win the title here. I think Becky Lynch is retaining here. You know we're going to get another match with these two anyways, so for the fact there is nobody for Becky Lynch to challenge right now, maybe Rhea Ripley, maybe Liv Morgan, maybe. We've been there, done that with Liv Morgan already. Maybe Rhea Ripley perhaps would be a possibility, but I think we're definitely getting another match out of these two here, and I think Becky's retaining the title here. I mean, having Bianca win just seems too predictable because remember, at last year's WrestleMania, she actually beat Sasha Banks to win, I believe, was it the SmackDown Women's title or the Raw Women's title, whatever it was at WrestleMania, but she beat Sasha in the title match. So I think Becky's winning and retaining here. It's just my whole thought on the whole situation. We have Seth Rollins. He's going to be taking on a mystery opponent here. That mystery opponent will be handpicked by Vince McMahon and revealed right before the match. A lot of talk that it's going to be Cody Rhodes as the mystery opponent. A lot of talk and speculation for the last several weeks. Supposedly Cody has signed his deal with WWE. Supposedly signed it several weeks ago. And he's going to be the one that's be challenging Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. And that's what we're going to be getting here. So, again, looks like it's going to be Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. I've seen Shane McMahon's name being floated around. I've seen Veer Mahan's name being floated around here. It seems to be Cody, unless it's going to be like Shane McMahon. That's the only thing I could see. So if it's going to be Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, clearly you're going to have Cody Rhodes win. And, they're making a really big deal out of this whole thing here. Even though they've not said his name directly, there's no way you're bringing Cody Rhodes back in to have him lose to Seth Rollins. That just makes absolutely no sense. So if it is Cody Rhodes is going to win. Now, I've been saying all along that I didn't think Cody Rhodes was going to come back, and we still don't. It's not 100% certain that he's coming back. I've not seen an official contract. I've not seen Cody Rhodes say anything. I've not seen anybody comment on it. But if it is Cody Rhodes, he's setting himself up to be ridiculed. So I don't think he really cares at this point. But it looks like it's going to be Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. If that's the case, Cody Rhodes is 100% going to be winning here. SmackDown Women's title match. We have Ronda Rousey challenging Charlotte Flair for that SmackDown Women's title. Again, it's going to be very interesting to see how this one gets booked. Charlotte, for the most part, has gotten most of the heat on Ronda during this whole situation leading up to this match at WrestleMania. Like I said, I see Becky retaining hers. I could see a situation play out where Charlotte actually retains here. Now, do I think she's going to retain? You know what? It seems way too predictable that Ronda is going to win the title here. I actually think we're getting some sort of a chicanery, some sort of a non-finish, some sort of maybe a DQ finish here. We're going to get another match with these two. There's no question about it, because there's really no one for Charlotte to face. I think Charlotte should be facing Sasha Banks. That's what I would like to see. Or Charlotte take on a returning Bayley. That would be a possibility. Does anybody play a factor into the match here? Does anybody get involved? I think Charlotte's going to retain the title. I don't think they're doing the title switch here. I really don't. It just seems way too predictable that they do a title change here and have Ronda win the title here. I think Charlotte's going to somehow retain here. Whether she pins her cleanly or we get some sort of chicanery, DQ, bullshit finish or something, I don't know. But I think that's what we're getting here. I think Charlotte's retaining. And then finally, we have Kevin Owens hosting the Kevin Owens Show with special guest Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is going to be the main event of night one. The final thing we see on night one here. Obviously, they're gonna have the Kevin Owens show here, and it's gonna lead to probably a brawl or some sort of non-traditional wrestling match, if you want to call it that. And ultimately, I think Stone Cold leaves Kevin Owens lane. He gives him a stunner, gives him another stunner, and then celebrates with beers in the ring from his IPA. And that's how WrestleMania Night 1 goes off the air. So we're not getting a match proper with them, but Stone Cold Steve Austin's clearly going to be leaving Kevin Owens laid out with Stone Cold Stunner when it's all said and done. So that's how Night 1, I believe, it goes for WrestleMania 38. Now looking at Night 2, Night 2 is not looking very strong here. Once again, we have DJ Valentino Khan doing the musical performance. And America the Beautiful is going to be sung by Jesse James Decker, so we have that. Let's just get on to the card as we have it right now. Again, Night 2 is definitely looking a lot weaker than Night 1, I will say that. We have Doorman Jordan almost taking on Bobby Lashley in a one-on-one match. This came as a result of what happened on Raw this week when Bobby Lashley made his return here and took Doorman Jordan off his feet. They have the match here. I think Doorman Jordan's winning. Doorman Jordan's getting the win here. I think Bobby Lashley goes away for a while again. I don't think Bobby Lashley's coming back at 100%. But they needed somebody for Doorman Jordan. Bobby Lashley's the one. Doorman Jordan, I think, is winning this match. And Bobby Lashley goes away for a while to continue to rehab his shoulder. That's what I think we're getting here. We have Edge and AJ Styles here, and what I think is going to be one of the best matches on either night of WrestleMania here. This should be a fantastic match. You know what these guys can bring to the table here. And it's going to be so good to see what was going to happen here. Clearly, Edge is playing the role of a heel beautifully now. Edge, to me, is better as a heel than as a babyface. AJ Styles has been positioned as a babyface now. This should be a great match. I'm looking very forward to it. I think Edge is winning here. I think Edge wins. Nothing is lost for AJ Styles if he loses here. He's already a made man, so him losing is not a big deal. I think Edge gets the win here. I think this will be a very hard-fought match, and Edge needs some sort of redemption based off of the match he had with Randy Orton, which was not a very good match. Was at a couple of WrestleManias ago, and I think we're going to get one here with Edge and AJ Styles, with Edge getting the win here. Pat McAfee is going to be taking on Austin Theory in a one-on-one match. Pat McAfee, we know how good he is in the ring. He's actually a lot better than what people give him credit for. He had a match in NXT with with, of course, Adam Cole. So we know how good he was in that match. And he's got Austin Theory here now. They're clearly giving Austin Theory a lot of responsibility here to be in a match with Pat McAfee. Look, Austin Theory, I'm sure, will bump for Pat McAfee and so on and so forth. Pat McAfee, to me, is going to win this match. There is no way you have book Pat McAfee for a match at WrestleMania and have him book the lose here. I mean, there could be some smoke and mirrors to this match, perhaps, but Pat McAfee, I mean, he is a celebrity, if you want to look at it that way. There's no way they're having him lose to Austin Theory here. Austin Theory losing here does not hurt him. He's going to be fine. He's been positioned in a storyline with Vince, so everything's going to be fine there. Pat McAfee's going to beat Austin Theory in what I think could be a sleeper match at WrestleMania. We have the Anything Goes matchup next here. We have Johnny Knoxville taking on Sami Zayn here. Again, this Anything Goes, no holds bar, no disqualification, whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing here. Basically to mask Johnny Knoxville's inexperience in a wrestling ring here. Sami Zayn, look, he's very good at what he does. He's going to protect Johnny Knoxville. They're going to do all these things here. Knoxville knows how to do all these crazy spots and all that, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see some of them being played out here at WrestleMania. Johnny Knoxville is going to win this match, by the way. Again, much like I said with Pat McAfee a moment or so ago, there's no way you're bringing Johnny Knoxville in to do a job for Sami Zayn. I'm sure Sami Zayn is going to get an extra pay for doing a job for Johnny Knoxville. And look, Sami Zayn, he's a made guy again. He's fine. Nobody's going to lose any sleep over him losing. He's not going to lose any type of credibility or anything like that. He's going to be fine here, and ultimately Johnny Knoxville gets the win here because that's exactly what should happen here. Fatal 4-way match for the women's tag team titles. We have Shayna Baszler and Natty. We have Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Naomi, Sasha Banks, and the tag team champions of Carmella and Zelina Vega here. Now, if Monday Night Raw was an indication, we had that 8-woman tag team match that saw Rhea Ripley get the win for the babyface team here. She got the winning pinfall on Zelina Vega here. That pretty much tells me that Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley are not winning the women's tag team titles because they got their win here. Shayna Baszler and Natty, they are not winning the women's tag team titles. There's nothing gained from them winning it. So it comes down to Naomi and Sasha and Carmella and Zelina Vega. I think Sasha Banks is finally going to get her WrestleMania win here. She's never won a WrestleMania match, which is an interesting statistic, and I think that changes here. I think Sasha Banks finally breaks her losing streak at WrestleMania. Her and Naomi are winning the women's tag team titles when they beat Zelina Vega and Carmella here when it's all said and done. So Naomi and Sasha Banks, I think, are winning the women's tag team titles. Triple threat match for the Raw tag team titles. We have the Street Profits. We have the Alpha Academy, who, by the way, we did not see on Monday Night Raw. I mentioned that earlier when I was doing the Monday Night Raw review. And Randy Orton and Matt Riddle here for triple threat for the Raw tag team titles. I'm not a fan of this match. We saw the Street Profits on Raw. Looks like they may have teased a heel turn here, perhaps, or they just wanted to get the jump on Matt Riddle and Randy Orton because they want those Raw tag team titles. Be it as it may, I think it should be an interesting match. I mean, we have some very good workers in this match here, no question about it. I think when it's all said and done, Matt Riddle and Randy Orton are retaining here. I don't see any reason why to take the tag team titles right back off of them after they just got them back. Randy Orton and Matt Riddle might pick to retain the Raw tag team titles. And finally, in the winner-takes-all title unification match, we have Brock Lesnar as the WWE Champion taking on Universal Champion Roman Reigns. The match that everyone's been waiting to see here. They're billing this as the biggest WrestleMania match of all time, which is a load of crap, by the way, because I can think of several matches right off the top of my head that have been better than this. I think of Hogan and Andre at WrestleMania 3, Randy Savage and Ricky Steamboat at WrestleMania 3. I would say, heck, Ultimate Warrior Hulk Hogan WrestleMania 6. Hulk Hogan and The Rock at WrestleMania 18 in Toronto was a bigger match. I would even say that Bret and Owen at WrestleMania 10 was a bigger match. And Stone Cold Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 14 was a bigger match. I can go on and on. This is not the biggest match in WrestleMania history because we've seen these guys wrestle at WrestleMania before. So you throw all that out the window. Obviously, Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. A lot of people are divided on who's going to win this one. A lot of people think that Brock Lesnar actually has a chance to win here. I'm here to tell you, folks, Roman Reigns is not losing the title here. Roman Reigns will win and will somehow get the win here. I don't know if he's winning clean or if it's going to be some sort of a DQ finish or something. There's no way they do a DQ finish here in this winner-takes-all unification match. It would stink if they did like some sort of non-finish, disqualification finish here. I think Roman Reigns is winning the match, and he's winning the WWE title off Brock Lesnar. That's what I think. I think they are. There is talk of maybe unifying the titles, though. The belief is that each show, Raw and SmackDown, will still have a title. They should unify the titles, and it should be the WWE title. They should retire the Universal title, though. There's been some indication maybe the WWE title is going to be the one retired, and they go with the Universal title. But again, the WWE title should be the one that stays around. Universal title gets retired because Roman Reigns has held that title longer than anyone. So Brock Lesnar, he's not winning here. I think Roman Reigns is winning, and he has taken the WWE title off of Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar will acknowledge him when WrestleMania 38 comes to an end at the end of night 2. So that's it, folks. That is my official preview and predictions for WrestleMania 38. Again, we'll see if there's any other matches added late, but that's what we have as far as this goes in time here.